get it.
SDP, the Steve Dangle Podcast, with your hosts, Steve Dangle, Adam Wilde, and Jesse Blake.
Let's go!
9 years. 9 years we prayed for this. 9 years.
9 years.
We waited
We waited.
for NHL players
It was a long wait.
to play hockey with their own country's jerseys on. 9 years we waited. We got a great, amazing matchup to start to. Canada-Sweden. You think about that and you go, wow, oh my God, like this is theater.
Those are two different countries.
Those are two different countries, and there's a lot of players on both sides that play in Canada.
And they play hockey.
There are teammates going head to head.
Oh, man. They usually play together, but now they're playing against each other.
And the NHL has this incredible way of promoting it, and four nations facing off, and it's a Twitter joke.
Yeah.
And then what does the ref do? He fake drops the puck. He fake drops the puck twice to start the game. That ref, you need to sit down. I don't even know who it was.
You know what's funny?
You sit down.
The ref fake dropping the puck is the only reason our stream didn't miss the opening draw, because we had we had technical difficulties, so I was actually very grateful for it.
Jesse immediately, we're at Boston Pizza in Stouffville. Jesse immediately goes up to me and goes, hey, did you see that?
See, yesterday, too, they kept kicking out Eichel.
Yes.
One of the linesmen just kept kicking him out, and I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, like, are you here to see a fair face-off, or are you here to see Jack Eichel take one? Because I'll tell you, it's Jack Eichel. It's like Tom Brady with deflated footballs. What are we talking about here? I really don't understand. Like, how bad can it really be that Jack Eichel in what eventually became a 6-1 game? Oh no, it's like 4-1 right now. We simply couldn't have you take a face-off that might be out of place.
To do it on the opening draw of the entire tournament at center ice is crazy.
You're a listener.
Like,
that person's a listener.
That's ridiculous.
That
I'm
person
literally
listens to the
finding
show.
out that happened now. Because I was streaming, I didn't know that.
Oh yeah,
happened.
yeah. No, that ref is a listener to this show, and he did it to punk us. I know it. I know it. And I'm telling you, people. I was talking to Maddie and Jesse about it. I'm like, once you see it, once it gets under your skin, you will never not see it. And for them to start the tournament that way, and by the way, I'm not going to be negative at all. You know, I have been glazing this tournament. I have been jacking this tournament, jacking it up on a car like a car jack. Not like that. I have been
Happy Valentine's Day,
I have been
everybody.
pumping the tires of this tournament. And we will talk about that in amazing Canada-Sweden game in a second. But I just have to say, guys, stop. Just stop. Nobody wants it. We didn't come here to see you. You'll be blown away. 9 years for the referees as well. Since they got to do NHL international play.
They kicked out their fair share of Canadians and Swedes too.
They did.
So I didn't notice off the opening draw, but I did notice nearly every face-off after that.
You know who's not going to call you after that? Head office. They're not going to care. They're not. They literally be like, you know what? Listen, you wrapped a great game. It was Mitch Marner in overtime. Sidney Crosby 3 assists. Crazy comeback from Sweden, right? 3 primary assists from Sidney Crosby. Now I don't want to disrespect the GOAT, but I'm sure head office was like, you know, that face-off was improper. Like, what are we doing? Are we kidding?
Gary Bettman was in his seat, so angry he shattered his wine glass because he's like, God damn it! And that face-off was fucked.
And he threw all the sushi at the wall next to, and it got into the caviar. It was like, what am I gonna do? You know, because
what is this bullshit? Through his headphones.
Is Stephen Walcom still the head of referees?
Stop doing his podcast. I don't know.
Whoever the head of referees is.
I don't know.
He calls Dave Jackson from ESPN. Dave! Don't you let him get away with that. You talk to your guy. Talk to your boy.
He said, no, I thought they got the call right. Sorry, what was the question? What was the question? No. Sorry, no, I thought they got the call right. That was the question, right? Sorry. By the way, the sniff was me. I have a cold.
I know.
Guys, this is a long hockey show, okay, that we do 3 times a week.
Yep.
People did not tune in for over an hour of dropping the puck at the face-off talk.
Yeah, we should talk about the game.
So let's move on to our... What did you have allotted for the anthem? Half an hour? 45 minutes?
I have nothing allotted for
You don't have half an hour? 45
I have nothing
minutes?
allotted for the anthem.
Why not?
Steve really wants to talk about it.
Why not? Why
Well,
not? I think it's going to be productive and good and not exhausting.
Because
Adam, I'm going to give you a get out of jail free card because I think you think I'm serious. I am joking.
Okay.
I don't want to.
I don't want to either.
Okay.
I don't want to either. And I'll say this. I think when you ask someone their political opinions, you need to be prepared to be disappointed.
Adam.
And I'm
Adam.
moving on.
Look how far you're going.
Yeah, you're right.
No, too far.
Hey, what's the mug say? What's the mug say?
No, I didn't know that because someone made this for me.
It's the Jesse mug.
Because they made the wrong coffee. That was you, right?
Yeah, those are available in the SDPN shop, by the way. Throw that out there. Now
in Canada and the States. And elsewhere.
Now, let's talk about this.
Anthem.
We'll go sequential order here. So we're going to start with Canada, Sweden, and then we're going to talk Finland and the United States. And I just want to say the amount of people that have tuned into both streams. Steve had his at Boston Pizza at Stouffville on Wednesday night. And by the way, thank you to them for having us. That was amazing. Thanks to Molson for partnering with us on that. Spectacular.
That was quite the drive home.
Yeah, it was a crazy drive home. Steve streamed, I think it was like 75,000 people that ended up tuning in, which is unbelievable.
Not a big deal.
Jesse had another 30,000 last night or something like that, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Not a big deal.
It was our biggest. Last night was the fourth biggest stream of the season. Like the only games that beat it were the Canada game and then like Vancouver or Boston and Montreal. Like this, like people are dialed into this tournament.
And isn't it funny? This is where I wanted to start. To everybody that was negative about this tournament, just tell me that you're not in touch with the fans. It's okay, just admit it. Because your takes are. And I going into this tournament, there were people going, oh, well, these guys, Pietrangelo dropped out. Everybody else is going to drop out. Nobody cares about this made-up tournament.
I mean,
what are we talking
I think I might have said that. I might have said
well, then you're the one I'm talking to.
Well,
what do you mean they don't care?
Yeah, in my opinion on the Petro stuff was like, if this is the Olympics, I think Petro, he pushes through.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I think there was a clear
and I think if you were to
demarcation point of what this tournament is in comparison to the Olympics. But I don't think it's not going to be hype. I think it means less in the history of time, but it's definitely getting the fans going.
Well, and I think that if you were to ask Petro after that first game if he would have rather been there or not, if you were to give him truth serum. I'm not talking about what he might say in front of the microphone because you know he's going to say, no, I made the right call. But are you telling me that he watched that game and didn't feel that little tinge of, oh, I wish I was there? Come on.
Well,
come on.
If he's anything like any hockey player ever, he lies and says, I didn't watch it.
The tournament is a spectacular idea.
Yes.
One that should be repeated, perhaps with more nations next time. And
World Cup
and they are going to do a World Cup. They announced that before the game. World Cups in basically the Olympics are 26 and 30. The World Cups are 28 and 32, and the plan is to be doing all of them. And that is spectacular.
Lovely.
And that will be a post Gary Bettman era. And so, for that to be a plan in place, as much as international hockey really died in the third decade of Gary Bettman's stewardship, the reality is that he will leave a legacy of 4 excellent tournaments that we get to look forward to every couple of years. Every 24 months, we're going to have some sort of international play, and that is what it is all about. That's good.
That is the... it's not about being an optimist and pessimist. I think that is a kind way of looking at it.
Well, that's how they're going to frame it.
His legacy is, you're saying his legacy is the future endeavors that he's leaving behind. I would say the legacy is, I think Gary Bettman's legacy is going to be defined by the unbelievable amount of hockey games not played.
Yes.
Underneath him.
In games not played per 10 years, Gary's going to lead the pack forever.
NHL regular season.
100 years from now, there'll be 5 or 6 more commissioners that have gone through the place, and Gary will still lead them in games canceled, games not attended,
including
games
international,
locked out, games struck. Oh yeah, absolutely, I agree with you. And I think this is him going, okay, this is my last year. I better get a good CBA on the books, right? I better get. There better not be a work stoppage as I'm leaving, and I better get some international play. Otherwise, that's all anybody's going to talk about. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, for the last decade, what else have we had, right? And before that, with the lockouts in 04 and then, or 05, I guess.
04.
And then 04, 05, and then there was the one in 2012. So it's I think every move you see Gary make from now on is going to be a crowd pleaser, because this is about legacy. This is about tying up loose ends. It's not really necessarily about him winning or losing in actual negotiation terms. I think it's for him to go, see, I had to fix all of these things, and now we can have dessert.
So this is Red Dead Gary Bettman redemption. He's
Dutch without the success.
He's just gone around the entire map of the video game, killing NPCs for no good reason for his whole career. And then he gets to chapter 6 and he just goes to Saint Denis and says howdy to all the locals to up his honor level.
Makes the bear hat
So he can have a good ending.
Yep.
It's a very popular video game.
Listen, I'm into it. The game itself started off with a goal pretty quickly. And I have to say, Crosby on the first goal is insane. Watching Nathan MacKinnon and cheering for Nathan MacKinnon, Steve, Jesse, new experience, pretty cool.
Well, Jesse didn't cheer for Canada.
I did. No, I cheered for Canada. I was supporting my.
You know what?
I was supporting my boy William Nylander.
You know what? Jesse should have to play this.
I was supporting my boy William Nylander because Fanatics was nice enough to send me a Fanatics William Nylander Team Sweden jersey, which was awesome. Mm-hmm. But yes, it's cool. It's cool rooting for Crosby. Having McDavid on your side is awesome.
You imagine?
Yeah.
So Jesse, I'm going to save that. I'm going to save that for later. Jesse had the Sweden jersey on the entire time. He sat in the middle of the bar at Boston Pizza with that jersey on. But let's bring it back to Nathan MacKinnon for a second. Cheering just for him. Forget Crosby for a sec. Just seeing Nathan MacKinnon rushing the puck in towards the goalie. What feelings does that evoke in your soul?
I haven't watched the stream back yet, but I'm pretty sure I spent most of the opening 10 minutes laughing. Just giggling. That is such an unbelievable... Like, I'm used to watching these players with, like, dread on account of almost all of them play for not my team. Mm-hmm. Every time the Leafs play the Oilers, I don't have to... You can't look for 97. You look at the blur that looks sort of like it might be a 97 if it were standing still. And you just go, no, and you wait until the shift is over. And then hopefully it ends with him going to the bench and not you fishing the puck out of the back of your net, and then you go, ah. And then the rest of the game happens, right? Time stands still when he's on the ice against your team. Same with MacKinnon. Same with Crosby. Same with Makar. Maybe not to the same degree, but damn, Sam Reinhart's pretty good, man.
Oh, man.
And that's your top power play unit. LMAO. That first goal was McDavid to Crosby to MacKinnon. They're all first overall picks.
Top line centers on their teams.
The Canada's top power play unit is first overall pick, first overall pick, first overall pick, fourth overall pick, second overall pick.
That's great.
There's no one out of the top four.
That's great. Great.
That's so silly. And I think a lot of our goaltending concerns were confirmed by this game, but I think some of what we saw in that game showed that we might have overblown it a little bit. The rest of the team is still pretty damn good. You asked a great question, or someone in the audience asked a great question during our live show in Stouffville. Forwards, defense, goalies. Rank Canada in the tournament. Goalies is the easy 4, unfortunately. Forwards? I give them 1, I think. It's 2 at worst.
Especially the way Crosby played.
Yeah.
I mean, he had...
On the wing?
He had that first setup goal, guys. That was, for me, like vintage Crosby, in tight with the net, making something of nothing.
Oh, yeah.
And just the puck kind of just flowed through him like it was a creek, like a river. Just nothing.
Damn.
Set it up, scores, goal. It's beautiful. And I think it's kind of crazy. And I saw a lot of social, and I'm sorry, Pens fan, I do have to bring this up. There were a lot of people like, please get Sidney Crosby out of Pittsburgh.
Oh my God. Play him with good players. Holy shit. It shouldn't be this difficult.
Yeah. I mean, the payroll of Team Canada is $182 million. So
It's
yeah,
insane.
it is a little difficult to get that many players together.
The one I had trouble with, and this is obviously a different conversation now that Shea Theodore is hurt and Kel McCarr is sick, in both ways. Canada's defense. I said, you could convince me they're 1. You could also convince me they're 3, which is why I'm going to cop out and say 2.
Right.
So if your forwards in D are, let's say 2 and 2 out of 4, yeah, I think you're doing okay. You could argue they're 1 and 1 and 4. They're a really, really, really good team.
Yep.
They have as good a shot to win as anyone.
Jesse, your thoughts on, I guess we can talk about the whole game because I'm not going to go goal by goal necessarily like we sort of do with the Leafs in the playoffs, but Crosby on this night, McKinnon on this night, cheering for McDavid, like getting all those guys on one team and going, yeah, that's my team.
No, Crosby's got to be the focus for me to start because, like, no disrespect to the other 600 players in the National Hockey League, but seeing these teams put together where there's no bad players on the ice and yet Crosby's still out there being one of the best out of any of them, it just shows like the level he's at. And that first goal you're talking about, the one he assisted on where he's backwards doing a blind pass, and then he does the same thing in overtime where he has a blind pass to Mitch Marner. It feels like he's out there showing off. He feels like he's out there being like, hey, if anybody forgot, I'm still Sidney Crosby and I still have it. I'm still at the top of my game. So it was really special, and it's cool to see him have that moment to start the tournament.
Well, that overtime winner to me was just him being the smartest player on the ice. Like, there's so many goals in his career where he's able to be the facilitator by sucking up so much energy. All the Americans converged on him. At this point in his career, even though he's still a ridiculously good skater, he still has some of the best edges in the league. He's not even going to really try to beat you with just outright overwhelming speed. Guys have gotten too fast. McDavid's insane. McKinnon's insane. Other guys, like even Marner, is insane. Mm-hmm. But Crosby sucks up that energy, and once he hands it off, Mitch has already read what's going on. I don't know if they talked about it beforehand, because it seemed too perfectly executed for them to not know exactly what was going on. Crosby's got one job: stay on side. Or get on side. Mm-hmm. That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it. And then Mitch is just friggin' leading the charge. Like if anything, that play felt like it was designed to get a line change in.
Right.
I don't know if they meant to call game that way.
Yeah, but the genius of it is like Crosby started playing with Mitch Marner that day. Like it's not like they've been playing together for 5 years, for 10 years, for 20 years. Like they met each other on Monday and he's making blind passes in overtime to him in the middle.
Now, Jesse, you're forgetting some. You're forgetting some. They trained together in the summer.
Right.
They trained together in the summer, and we got conflicting messages about it. Like, oh, you're making it sound like they've been training together for weeks and weeks. So it was only a couple days. It seemed to help.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Nathan McKinnon and Crosby, they have their camp out in Denver
Vail,
every year.
I think
yeah,
it's
Vail.
Vail.
There it is. Yeah, Vail, Colorado every summer. And this year, Mitch Marner was there hanging out for a little bit.
Worked.
Yeah. This is the view of Crosby's first pass. Yeah, everybody's hyping up the blind one in OT, but this one is also blind to Nathan McKinnon across the ice. The awareness to know that, hey, yeah, he's over there. I'm going to go not look at where I'm passing the puck, and it's going to go through 3 defenders and past the goalie, and McKinnon's going to bury it.
By the way, that was on a William Nylander penalty for a high stick to the face of McKinnon.
Yes. Yeah, this is on the power play. And yeah, Nylander had a poor start to the game.
Yeah.
But he looked dangerous in the middle.
He did.
William
Sweden was coming back.
liability.
Now, I think was to kind of fast forward after that first period, Canada being, I think they were up 2-0, and then it was 3-0 at the beginning of the second or something.
3-1.
Yeah, it never got to 3-0.
Oh, 3-1. Okay. Yeah. It seemed for the first half of that game that Canada was very much in control, and
Well, they didn't allow shots, you see.
yeah. Well, it was what was it? 10 minutes without a shot for Sweden?
15. Sweden ended up getting, I think, 3 by the end of the first, but that's it. And they were muffins.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Now, then what happens, and this is where it kind of gets a little wild, is that Sweden starts to inch back.
Oh yeah.
And the first one,
It should be mentioned that like that kind of started with Shea Theodore going down.
yes.
Yeah, Canada was missing a defenseman.
Pretty damn
Didn't
good.
help them for sure.
No, didn't help them. But that goal, I think it was the second goal against where the Swedish player cut across the ice. I believe it couldn't have been. I don't think it was Brodin. Maybe it was Kempe.
First goal
Was Brodin.
Brodin. Yeah.
And is that the one where he cut across and in and it just kind of went through Jordan Binnington?
Yeah, you're talking about the Adrian Kempian goal where he was just in the slot and he took a shot.
Yeah.
At the wrister. Yeah.
And this is where, Saturday night, Bell Center, Montreal, I have to question if this is the guy. And all the team could talk about like, oh, he's so prepared in the preparation. Man, the preparation. Even after the game, they're like, preparation.
Oh,
preparation, Jay.
I don't know if it was on the broadcast or if I could hear people from the bar. But that puck goes in and everyone went, oh, like it was not your typical, damn, we got scored on.
Yeah.
It was, Jordan, that's pretty bad, man.
Now, that is true, and it was bad. I do think that even though Sweden tied it up again, Kempe and Eriksson Epp tied it up in the third. I do think that towards the end of the game, Jordan Binnington turned it on.
He did. He made some key saves, and including overtime.
You saw the goaltender that we saw win the cup in 19. A little bit.
He's chaos. A little bit.
Yeah, let's talk about it a little bit.
Well, there's not much to it.
Is he
chaos.
starting? Is he starting Saturday?
No.
it's,
The plan was always to go Binnington Hill.
Okay.
Both of them getting the chance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So for me, like, he played well enough and they got the win. You probably like that one back. The Brodin one's not very great either, but it's from a disgusting angle. I don't blame Binnington really on it too much. I think there's also like a bit of a deflection there when it goes in. But the Kempe one, yeah, you want that back, but it's one goal and they won. And he was good when it mattered in terms of overtime in the end of the game there.
He was. And end of the game, friggin', it's an odd man rush for Sweden. Who's the defender back? It's not a defender. It's Mitch Marner.
Yeah.
Mitch helped prevent it at one end, stymieing his buddy Willie, and then he ends it at the other end. Mm-hmm. Listen, so you were laughing. You guys were both laughing really hard because you kept hearing me every time you walked by me doing the stream. It sounded like I was bashing Marner the whole time.
Well, there were people bashing.
Because the comment section, I was reading it and everyone was all over him.
Yeah, and you were fueling it because you don't.
I
like
was
him.
not fueling it.
You said, "Hey, screw you, Mitch. Get off Team
Steve
Canada."
kept saying weirdly, hey, what'd you think of that Mitch Marner shit, guys?
That was Jesse going, what happened to Nate there? What happened to Nate?
I heard Steve yell a couple times, "Where's 16?"
Whoa. How
He's 16
dare
out there on the ice.
How dare you? I listen, I don't think he had a bad game. The first half of it was maybe quiet, but like that falls on the whole line.
Mm-hmm.
Like Reinhart, McDavid, Marner, it didn't really feel like that line did a whole hell of a lot unless
It didn't work.
No, it didn't work
No.
for me. And like, it felt like the only time I got out of my chair, even though I stood the whole time, was McDavid just going, I'm going to do it all myself.
Yeah, I don't think McDavid and Marner's games complement each other.
No,
I don't
and
think they should be on the same line.
No, it's a good point.
It sounds like a massive demotion, but like it depends on how your coach manages the bench.
Look at the players.
I know. Look at the play. I love the idea of Marner, Cirelli, Hagel, because that to me is a line with a clear purpose. They're going to skate you into the dirt. They got good defensive ability, and they can score on you too at will, pretty much. Who do you put up with McDavid then?
You're taking off Point, right?
Taking off. No, because points with Marchand. And
No, because they were running the Cirelli Point, like the all Tampa line, were they not for a little?
maybe for a little.
Okay.
They didn't start the game with that.
No, they didn't start the game for sure.
Either way, it looks like Konechny's probably not going to play, so he's the odd man out. So I thought the way that line started, if I'm not mistaken, was Hagel, Cirelli, Konechny. Mm-hmm. So Konechny to me is, easy. You just take him off, throw Marner in. So who gets the bump to McDavid's line? Is it Seth Jarvis? I don't know. It's an interesting thought exercise because you look at who McDavid always plays with, it's like usually insane goal scorer and grinder type who can also score. Hyman, right? Perry at times this season. So playing the role of Leon Draisaitl tonight is his understudy, Sam Reinhart, right? Okay, that's easy. Mitch? I don't know.
Feels like you got what are those little emoticons or whatever they put next to players' names and NHL?
Oh, like the early 2000s ones, the hammer and the
and there's like and the fire and the whatever. Like if they're fast or what, it feels like you got two passers.
McDavid scored 60.
Yeah,
he's deceptive. He's deceptive like that.
But like,
no, I know what you mean.
He scored 60. How many assists did he have that year? 110 or something like that. 100.
He probably had more assists than goals, which is psycho.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
And that's my point, right? Yeah. Is that here? What a nut job. What an alien from outer space. To say, what did he have? He had 72 assists like last year. He had 100 assists 2 years ago. So like when we talk about McDavid and we talk, it was last year he had 100 assists. The year before he had 89.
Bum!
So I know that Connor McDavid can score goals. My point is that he also racks up a lot of assists.
Yeah.
And until overtime, and as a Leaf fan, you know this, Mitch doesn't love to shoot.
Not like
Reinhart does.
More surprising than I'm less surprised that the shot went in than I am that he took it.
Because he has a great shot. And it's deceptive and doesn't use it enough.
He charged in 1-on-3 alone. Like, who did he even have with him?
Crosby passed it to him, but that was it.
Crosby was like heading off.
For
I don't even know who the other player on the ice was. Right? So listen, it's Team Canada. They're friggin' ridiculously stacked up front. They're gonna be fine. That line just didn't do it for me. And it has nothing to do with any one player having a bad game.
Right. Now,
nothing to do with it.
Let's talk about that overtime goal. Is that the biggest goal of Mitch Marner's career so far?
It's a sad question, but name a bigger one. Like I want to say he had a deep series, not overtime, but like a game winner. Maybe during 2018 against the Bruins. Penalty shot goal against the Bruins, game 1, 2019. Game 4 against Florida, 2023. He got the game winner in that game.
They were down 3-0.
They were down 3-0 in the series. Yeah. Oh, you got to win game 4 to hopefully not lose. We didn't know it at the time. No, this is the biggest goal of his career. Mm-hmm. And it's not him. It's like if Matthews gets an OT winner in this one, like if he scores, like again, this is a round robin game. Like we might look back on that goal a little differently if Canada doesn't even make the gold medal game. They lose their next 2 or whatever. But like Willie, Austin, they have not won a lot of meaningful games.
Do you know Mitch Marner went from 2019 till 2022 without scoring a playoff goal?
I feel like I used to know that and then blocked it out and you brought back the trauma.
Right. This is where again, it's not this isn't to like punch down, but like this is where people go, hey, we need you in big games. And guess what? He just showed that he can.
Well, and this is why months ago I was like, for all 3 of those guys, this tournament is going to be the best thing that ever happened to them. Last night, I was pretty damn happy Matthews was playing with the Kachucks. Mm-hmm. I was pretty happy about that. Marner getting set up by Sidney Crosby. Marner might not have touched the ground yet.
Oh man. I hope he's still
floating,
just having the best couple of days of his life.
Oh my God.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
Higher than a helium balloon.
And this is on the heels of him a week ago getting his 500th assist as an NHL player.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
And so this is the thing. what was so big about that goal to me is that has always been there. When people criticize Mitch, I think there are people in his camp. I think there are people online who don't understand, or, they ask every damn player that rolls through town, hey, what do you think of Mitch Marner? Oh, well, he's good at hockey. Yeah, well, yeah, we get it. Yeah, we know. It's that in those moments, Mitch has the potential. Mitch could win a cup on his own. Like, that's the kind of talent this player has. And we want him to do it.
Oh.
And what you saw was a guy who can. When you do that, no one can ever take that away from you. And even if years down the road, let's say, Canada doesn't do well at this tournament, no one remembers, he'll remember. He'll remember that. That is something where I'm like, this is why I'm so pumped for Austin, for Mitch, and for Willie to be at this tournament, because big moments, these guys are going to get them. They're going to have the opportunity to experience what it's like to win during them, and they're going to take that right on back home to the Toronto Maple Leafs, and that's going to benefit my team. Yeah. And I like that.
I was actually thinking, like, okay, what are some of the biggest goals in Matthews' career? And I was like, okay, I think it was 5 against Tampa, 2022. There was that 2-on-1 odd man. Mitch gave him that. Like, the Leafs get this out of Mitch when it matters most, they win. Beginning, middle, end. He's that good. You got to get it.
Well, they got it. Team Canada got it. And, it was interesting hearing CJ talk about it, because he said on the CJ show he'd never heard Mitch emotional like that. Like, it truly moved him. And I think that's pretty cool. I mean, like, how do you not get excited about that?
Oh, after the game when he was talking about, like, my dad's going to be effing pumped. Like, all season long, he's been very pucks in deep.
Yep.
With his answers. And, like, I dig that for him. Whatever gets you through the season, man. It's a long season. Reporters are exhausting. Jesse.
Jesse is exhausting, specifically.
Especially Jesse.
All those players, they hate me.
They should.
Yeah.
And it's funny to see the veil drop a little.
Yeah.
Because it's probably like half of them are the same reporters.
Yeah.
Putting the mic in his face. Like, who knows? That might have been Mark Masters. I don't know. I didn't see who.
Masters Nation?
Masters Nation.
Wow.
Absolutely. First class. It's just, what a moment. What a moment for the guy.
Yeah.
I'm glad he got it early.
Jesse, do you think that Mitch Marner takes any of that with him and brings it home?
It'd be awesome if he did. Like,
well, I'm asking because
I don't know if you hear that, but Maddie let go a huge yes.
No, I think one of my first thoughts was when he scored that goal. I was just like, man, if he could just do that in the playoffs. Like,
I know.
Yeah.
Like, he was under so much pressure for that, and like, I'm just like, why can't we see this? Like,
and last year they kind of hung him out, like it was just him. Willie and Austin couldn't be there for a lot of those games, and I know they got to play the games anyway. But
remember, we thought Willie said, "Stop effing crying, bro. It's not Junior." What did Willie actually say? Just shoot it. Shoot it! It's a weapon, Mitch. What a weapon! Getting set up by Sidney Crosby and scoring the overtime winner. How don't you
That's
feel?
framed in your house, right? You have a picture of that and you frame that in your house.
Already.
You keep that puck.
It's on my garage.
Garage? Are you kidding me? If I'm Mitch Marner?
Everything.
It's in my... Oh, you painted on your garage?
I painted on my garage.
Oh, I like that. Okay, fair enough.
Oh, no. And also, it's... I have it painted on the ceiling. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. 100%. Nothing but happy times looking at that picture. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of the National Hockey League, and apparently Steve won.
On Monday's big story, we tallied up the prop bets that we made, you and Steve made for the Super Bowl. I incorrectly stated that the Chiefs won the coin toss. The Eagles actually won and then deferred is how it went, I believe. I'm misremembering right now. But either way, Steve was correct, and he won the Super Bowl prop bet challenge. is what we have to correct here.
Never in doubt.
Strong football year for you. You were the regular season champ.
No, he wasn't.
No, I wasn't. I lost it in the last
It was a bad
week.
football year for Steve.
No.
He crumbled at the end.
Hold on. Did he finish first and then lose in the first round?
No.
Oh.
He dropped the President's Trophy in the last week of the season.
Dropped the President's Trophy last week, and then everyone had a crappy week, first week of the playoffs.
On his team.
I had a dazzling year in fantasy football and came away completely empty-handed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because you choked at the end.
But you know
Choked.
what?
Yeah.
You know what? You do okay in hockey. You do okay
I
in
know,
hockey.
okay.
You're pretty
you
good.
won
I'm second
this.
right now.
Yeah, you won this.
I won.
Steve,
Hey, you won the
All right,
Super Bowl
all right.
profits. Adam, you're a
Congratulations,
loser.
Steve, thanks, Jesse.
You lost. You won.
Steve, anytime goal, BetMGM, what are we doing for Saturday night, USA, Canada?
Anytime goal, I'm going to give one to Matthew Tkachuk.
Jesse.
Anytime goal, USA, Canada, Austin.
Oh, I like that one.
Oh, can I pick a Canadian for
no,
you?
do we
I
get-
will pick a Canadian. All right?
Oh, are we getting both sides?
Yeah,
or-
well, go ahead. Yeah, fine. Go.
Crosby.
Oh, all right.
Braden Point.
I'm going to say Cale McCarr. He's going to come back. It's going to be his Michael Jordan flu game. Okay.
Interesting.
And then I'm going to say Austin Matthews for sure. Because I want it to be a big goal. Okay? All right. You guys ready? So, BetMGM, sportsbook worth of selling, official sports betting partner of the National Hockey League. Go to betmgm.com for terms and conditions. Must be 19 years of age or older to wager. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you have any questions or concerns about your gambling or someone close to you, please contact Connects Ontario at 1-866-531-2600 to speak to an advisor free of charge. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with iGaming Ontario. Jesse, I think you'll find this interesting too. We talked about ratings before this tournament started, right? Talked about how, the NHL's struggling with ratings. And we talked about how the NBA was also struggling with ratings,
On
right?
Tuesday's show, we had that conversation, yeah.
So TNT put out their ratings for Canada versus Sweden.
Okay.
1 million average viewers throughout the entire game. And what I mean by
incredible.
that doesn't mean 1 million people watched it. That means that at every average minute audience means that at any one moment, it is reasonable to say that 1 million people were watching based on the metrics.
And if that's the starting point, that means it's only going up because the games are transitioning to ESPN. I believe the championship game is going to air on ABC.
Which is crazy.
Which is awesome for the NHL. And we haven't even had Canada-USA, and the finals are going to be the biggest game of those ratings. And to start with 1 million
And
is
it's not-
fantastic for the league.
It's not an American team.
Right.
I thought people only liked watching me when the Leafs lose. But the stream numbers when Sweden tied it, woo,
Yeah.
through the roof. And then for overtime, it was insane. Who's not tuning into that? Listen, if you got a lot going on, you got a busy life, I understand. There's overtime. What are you going to do with the next 10, 15 minutes of your life? Turn it on.
Exactly.
Turn it on.
Yeah.
How are you going to spend those minutes better?
On ice product aside, the economic reality of the league right now is in a great place. Like they are thriving, and that's a reason that we're seeing all of the conversation about the cap and why that's been such a big deal. And you have the agent provocateur doing emergency podcast because players are getting money back in escrow and all that fun stuff. But like those things actually matter. Like so there's a certain segment of the hockey fan who doesn't care about that kind of stuff. They're like, I don't even give a shit about the cap. Just win the game. Yeah. You know, who cares what my favorite player is making? Win the damn hockey game. But there are a segment who understand that all of that stuff is great for the entire sport because the more money that this thing generates, the bigger hockey's gonna get, and the bigger hockey gets, like the more fans we're gonna have, the better the sport is, the more the investment, the more you're gonna see your favorite players often, and the more you're gonna get like for these great moments out of the game. So I think it's fantastic this season for the league, what they've been doing with their numbers, and it's in a great place right now.
We get too stuck in our nerdiness. I think sometimes you'd be amazed how many conversations I have with people like a free agent signed somewhere else, and they're like, "Why didn't the Leafs go out and get him?" Well, they don't have any money, you see. Mm-hmm. Sorry, the Leafs don't have any money. Sorry, I misspoke. They don't have any cap space. And then you just see their eyes glaze over, and they're not interested.
Yeah.
Show me the hockey.
But it's our job to like explain those things and talk about that. And I think like
At every party you ever go to ever again, guys. Ever again.
right.
Yeah,
But
So let me explain
little,
escrow.
seeing little things like that where it's TNT has 1 million viewers and the game, what was it, last weekend you were telling me after we had the show, we got new ratings about how the game on that Saturday was a new ratings record for the league.
Yes.
Like those things make me happy as somebody who understands the economic reality of the league. And it's like, that's great.
I think it was
awesome.
a Vegas Boston game on ABC or something like that. I think that was the game, and it was at 1.1 million.
Yeah, it broke the record that we were talking about on the Tuesday game.
Yes.
Tuesday day. Yeah.
No, 1.3, which is crazy. And so on top of that, guys, what added to this game, and I think what added to the ratings, would be the 10 minutes of 3-on-3 overtime. And I know
Yeah.
Nathan McKinnon jokingly said, and it was joking.
You're wrong, Nate.
He said, I don't want to do 10 minutes 3-on-3 in the NHL.
Wrong. Incorrect.
He is incorrect, for sure. What did you guys think?
He also said 7.
7 minutes?
He didn't shut down 10. He was like 7's
well,
probably enough.
The reason he said 7 is because the Avs will literally play him all 7.
Well, that was okay. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that overtime I want to say was 6.5 minutes. Crosby had 2 shifts.
Yeah. Yeah, like that's how stacked the team is, right?
Yeah,
They had
I don't
Hagel out there. They were rolling 3 or 4 lines.
like. Okay, so that clip going around of Marchand mic'd up in the dressing room. He goes, "Man, you guys are fun to watch." Did he play?
No, I don't think he did in the overtime.
Did Braden point?
I think he
Hit the ice? Did Mark Stone? Did Brandon Hagel? Did
Yes, I
Travis
think
Konechny?
Hagel did. Hagel did. I think Cirelli did too.
Yeah, Stone was out there. Let me see if Marchand played. Marchand did not play. It doesn't look like.
It was
he
very funny. Here's what I love about this tournament and why I love that they extended the clock. Sweden did the thing where they start overtime with their version of David Kampf. Mm-hmm. They start overtime with the mission of we're just going to waste time until McDavid gets off the ice. And then they throw Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Run!
Yeah.
You can't hide. You can't hide. It's international hockey. It's Team Canada. Do you know how many teams, night after night, their whole game plan revolves around stopping Braden Point and his line mates? And he's such an afterthought
On this team.
in terms of the weaponry, the sheer weaponry that this team has.
Yep.
Dude, it's silly and stupid and fun, and they're ours, and it's so good.
Konechny, Reinhart, Jarvis, Marchand, Hagel got out there. The whole bunch of those 3 names. Parayko didn't get out there. Stone only had 1 shift. I said Marchand. Cirelli only had 2 shifts. Crosby had 2 shifts. Doughty didn't play OT. McDavid only had 3 shifts in OT. Like they have so many weapons. They didn't only need to play
He'll
McDavid
probably get
3
more
shifts.
than 3 in a full 5-minute OT.
Oh yeah, or just stay out there.
How many did McKinnon have? It felt like he didn't leave the ice.
Yeah, McKinnon was.
I understand why he was tired. I get it.
Let me see.
Believe me, Nate, I get it.
No,
There-
McKinnon had
4 shifts.
4 shifts in 6.5 minutes. That's not bad.
Yeah, that's that's a lot of time out there.
Wow.
Including 1 second at the very end. I guess that's who Crosby was going off for.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, 42, 50 in 1 second.
Now, Cale Makar is ill today. That sucks. Shea Theodore is out for the tournament. That sucks. And the way that it all works is that Canada is not allowed to invite another player until such time as the NHL approves it. And Cale Makar is officially sick enough that the NHLPA and NHL have approved Thomas Harley of the Dallas Stars joining the team. So he's practicing with them today. If Cale Makar can't play Saturday night, and it's looking like he may not be able to, it's going to be Thomas Harley joining Team Canada, which is a huge boon for Thomas Harley.
I will not throw you guys under the bus, so I am merely going to hold myself accountable. Shame on me. Shame on me. Because when we were talking about potential fill-ins for Team Canada, obviously Doughty was at the top of the list, but we're talking about like Tanev and stuff like that. I don't think we mentioned Thomas Harley once. Thomas Harley's incredible. And he gets overshadowed a little bit because of Miro Heiskanen. He gets overshadowed a little bit because he plays in Dallas. And everyone's just like, oh, Dallas. Dallas is so good. Dallas. Okay, who do you like on Dallas? How many Dallas games are you watching? Or are you just looking at the standings, right? Mm-hmm. Thomas Harley is a monster, and he's 23. Canada, like, a big reason why Seth Jarvis is there isn't just because he's good. It's because they're like, well, we want him to be part of this program going forward. We want him to be part of this program heading into
the Olympics,
the World
Championships, and the Olympics and the World Championships.
This is real good for Thomas Harley's future with the team. Like last year, this season he's having a pretty good season, but on the back end last year, he had 15 goals. 15 and 47 points with the Dallas Stars as a 22-year-old. His previous career high in goals and points was 1 goal and 4 points. So to say he was a breakout star would be somewhat of an understatement and very literal because he is literally a star. This season he has 29 points in 53 games. He's already got 9 goals. He's going to hit double digits again. He is a preposterously good player. Shame on me for not mentioning him.
I agree. That's your fault.
It is.
And only yours.
I think if given the circumstances where guys aren't in the Bahamas, maybe I think Mackenzie Weegar probably makes it ahead of him.
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah. I mean, he's very good also, but like Thomas Harley's ridiculous.
And Harley's not practicing with the team yet. He's just got approval to join Team Canada. They had Konechny filling in on D today at the Team Canada practice. They went with the, Matt, if you want to bring this up.
No, Pierre LeBrun just tweeted that. He said NHL confirms Harley has been joined.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I said. So
okay.
He's not practicing with them yet. He was told that he can join the team.
Okay.
Right? So the lines at practice, because he's not there yet, are Konechny filling in at D, but they've gone with the Tampa line, the Hagel, Sorelli, Point, Crosby, McKinnon, Stone, Reinhart, McDavid, Marner, Marchand, Bennett, Jarvis.
That fourth line is going to be amazing against the United States. Like just shithead.
Bennett, Jarvis. Complete shithousery. I love the all Tampa line. I mean, John Cooper, who knows their strengths better than him? Stone, Crosby, McKinnon.
John Cooper also did just say that he's confident Makar will play. I don't know if that matters, but he said he's confident.
Would you switch Marner and Stone?
I would.
Yeah.
I think it makes more sense to play McKinnon and Marner and Crosby and get McDavid and Marner away from each other.
I mean, if we're looking to create the best line of the Oilers, which is Draisaitl, McDavid, Hyman, wouldn't Reinhart, McDavid, Stone be the closest thing Canada can create to that? Then you have Crosby, McKinnon, Marner. Yeah, I think that's what I'd do. Mm-hmm. Stone was pretty good. We didn't even mention that he scored. He was, oh my God. Yeah, that's probably the only change I would make to this. That and I would make Makar healthy.
Are you able to do that now?
No.
Oh.
I don't know how to do that.
All right. Also yesterday, and as we mentioned, a ton of you streamed Jesse, who streamed the game, which was awesome. What did you say, Jesse? 4th biggest stream of our entire year so far?
Yeah, of the season so
That's
far.
amazing.
Yeah, it's the only hockey game going on.
It's awesome.
Fun. Yeah.
It's awesome. So,
I wouldn't say great game after like the start of the third.
Well,
Oh my God.
I would agree
ran them out of the building.
I would agree with that, but the first minute was fun. They were already punching each other. A lot of face washes. I liked that.
Oh, Saturday's just going to be awesome. Oh my God, it's going to be so awesome. But I was surprised to see the States go at Finland like that. Not because I was surprised to see Matthew Tkachuk hitting people and Brady Tkachuk getting into post-whistle scrums, which I swear that guy earns half his paycheck between whistles.
Yeah.
But if Finland is to win a single solitary game at this tournament, they're going to try to drag you into that. And the States went into it with open arms.
They were rock'em sock'em robots.
They were rock'em sock'em robot. And geez, who knows? Maybe they're probably tougher, honestly. But you have overwhelming skill compared to them. Like their back end is in complete shambles.
And wasn't it funny that Henri Jokiharju was the guy that scored for Finland?
And
guy that was
Jesse,
not on the team
with the fraud watch graphic for Connor Hellebuck. Jesse, that was so damn funny. And it was the only goal he allowed.
Yeah, and then And then he played really well, and we couldn't use the graphic anymore.
That goal stunk.
Because he wasn't a fraud.
That goal stunk.
It wasn't great, and everybody was getting on it when it was hilarious because we're like, oh, playoff Hellebuck.
And then when the States tied it, I sent a message to the group chat. I'm like, there's been 9 goals in this tournament so far, and 4 of them suck. It's goaltending's been tough in this thing so far, but poor Finland. Like, they really did. They held on, and then the States' firepower just completely overwhelmed them.
Yeah, when things opened up, it wasn't like really a game anymore. No. They tried their best, and like I don't even really blame Saros on a whole bunch of them. Like the turnaround Kachuk goal was really, it was out of nowhere, and apparently I didn't see it get tipped initially, and then you see it get tipped a little, so it's a friendly fire on that, so you can't really blame Saros for that. And then you have Kachuk going through the legs, like in the middle of the zone to spring his brother, and then like how you're not stopping this if you're a team like Finland who's injured and just doesn't have the star power.
They were directly involved in 4 of the 6 goals. Those 2 scored or assisted on them, and sometimes both, all in the same goal.
Putting them on the same line is the right call. Shout out Mike Sullivan for that. Shout out Mike Sullivan.
They didn't start that way, right?
No, they didn't.
Yeah. And then they go Eichel or Kachuk, Eichel, Kachuk, and that's the best line I've ever seen.
Lol.
Like I don't remember a better line than that.
That's so fun. Imagine going up against that in the playoffs, right? Like, you're dead. Dead.
Watch, Brady Kachuk will like sign in Florida $6 million a year, something like that. Like that'd be stupid.
Frig off.
No, it's more likely they'd both go to Vegas.
Oh, Jesse.
Like that's the way the things play out usually.
Put that back in the box. I want you to unsay that. Please don't put it in the universe.
I don't know if I can.
Jesse, did you have? Do you think you had a lot of Americans and Finnish people watching, or was it Canadians watching this game with you? Did you get a sense of who was on the chat with you?
It was a lot. I would say it was like 33, 33, 33. Like it was pretty split down the middle on like Canadians being impartial, just watching good hockey and rooting against the Americans for the lulls. And then there was a lot of Americans who were rooting for their team, and then a lot of Finnish fans as well. Like it was a really good chat, and we got all perspectives. And then eventually, the Finnish fans kind of start not commenting as much, but they're still tuning in.
Yeah.
As the game turns 4-1 and 5-1, they're still hanging out, but they're not getting as hyped.
I was going to say, we don't need to guess. We can just look at the audience demographics, but it's not available.
Yeah, it hasn't loaded yet.
Can't find it.
I think that's fine.
Yeah.
No, it's not fine. I've been a YouTuber since 2007. I need numbers now.
Yeah. So I
thought Jack Hughes and Matthews were incredible together. They're a perfect pair. Their games really complement each other. Matthews just couldn't hit the net. He hit the post a couple of times. He just couldn't hit where he needed to. But he had quite a few chances, and I think those two, it looks like they love playing together.
Well, I think it'll be Saturday night. So just so you know, with what we're doing with SDPN, I am doing the Finland-Sweden game. It's at 1:00 Eastern Standard on the YouTube channel, which I'm very excited about because that is a rivalry game that
it'll be great.
Scandinavians they're passionate.
Oh, yeah.
They're fired up. So that's going to be a fun game. I think the game that feels a little bit like, I don't know if fun is the word for Canada, the United States. I don't know if charged is the word for Canada, United States. It feels like it's Titanic. It's an enormous... There's so much playing into this. Obviously, there's the political situation, which you cannot avoid, but it's also just Canada, United States. And if you're a player that loves big game hockey, and I'm thinking about a Matthew Tkachuk, and I'm thinking about a Sidney Crosby, and you can name players on each team that I've had that are known for big games in their careers. Connor McDavid in last year's playoff. I can't wait to see what him and Nathan McKinnon do in this game. I can't wait to see how some of the younger American players react to some of this who've never really seen hockey hit this level. That game, it feels like there's, I don't know if it's like a big dark anxiety cloud, but it's going to be the craziest hockey game I think we have seen since the Stanley Cup final. Like that's the kind of intensity I think it's going to be. And we know the Bell Center and we know how loud they're going to be.
Oh, yeah. If we're trying to figure out, like, looking forward, like, we know these guys play each other one time each. Well, then the top two play in the gold medal game. I think we're all thinking it's going to be these two.
That'd be nice.
After the first two games, I think we're all thinking, and that's how it's shaping up to be.
It'd be nice.
Winner, the loser of the game you're streaming, Finland, Sweden, is screwed. They have virtually no chance.
Unless, if Sweden loses, they could beat the United States in regulation and maybe squeak in.
Possible.
They would need the U.S. to lose to Canada for that to be an option.
Yeah.
No overtime, no nothing.
Yeah, they would need to. Because, if the United States gets 6 points on the board, then.
Yeah. Loser of that game's probably screwed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Trying to do the math.
So, Canada, let's say Canada loses to the States. Canada's already played Sweden and beaten them. Mm-hmm. Now they got to play Finland, who I think we all agree is probably the weakest team of this tournament. Not because they're a weak hockey country, because they've lost everybody. Also, Saros was good through the first 40. I said Lankinen.
No, that should be Lankinen's net.
I said Lankinen.
Time, yeah.
Canada wins. I think they might be automatically in the final. I think. You only get to play 3 games. If you win 2 of them, you're probably automatic.
They have. So if you're saying if they beat USA Saturday,
yeah,
that'd be 5 points. And then USA could win, and then they would have 6. So Canada could still finish in second there. And then if, say, Sweden wins 2 games, then if, say, Sweden beats... Oh, no, but then they can't beat USA because the USA would need to win. So I think Canada would get an automatic berth to the finals if they win Saturday.
I think so.
Well, they only got the two if they get a 3, if they get a regulation win. Right? I think it's got to be because it's 3-2-1.
Yeah, that's what
I wonder if it would be possible for Canada to win their first 2 games and then not make it. Because then, let's say they win both in overtime. Anyway, this game is charged and means a lot for us. It's going to be insane. It's just a round robin game. It matters a lot on account of there's only 3. But odds are these guys, I think if you're putting money down, odds are these guys play again. And that's going to be psychotic. That game where everything's on the line, I think you maybe see more pure hockey than you do tomorrow night.
Tomorrow's going to be more shit.
Tomorrow's going to be blood.
Yeah.
If you're USA, how do you rest guys if your third game doesn't matter?
That's a real interesting.
Because if you beat Canada on Saturday, your third game it means nothing because you're already in the finals. How do you rest? Because you only have 2 extra skaters. So you just play. You don't play the big guys a whole bunch.
Manage the bench.
You give the minutes to the third and fourth lines, I guess.
That might be
Hellebuck.
the one game of the tournament that kind of sucks. It's like you want all the games to matter, but it's possible that we do get one where it's like, oh, there's nothing to play for here.
So going into that game, let's say Sweden beats Finland outright, regulation. They have 4 points, and they're going up USA, who's already clinched. Now, if Sweden wins, they can reach the finals. USA is not playing for anything. They're playing all the third and fourth line, and then Sweden's playing for the finals. We can get a situation here on Monday where one team is going for everything and the other team is just resting. That wouldn't be great.
No.
Ooh.
It's an important one, man. Saturday is a very important one.
That's not fun.
You got to win this game.
Even if Canada wins, they could still lose because Sweden is just playing against an American team who doesn't care.
It's a big win that they beat Sweden, but dropping that point matters.
Oh, yeah.
Blowing that 3-1 lead matters. Buddy. Now that what I kind of like about the mixed hype heading into this, or lack of hype, maybe not the hype it deserves, is now that we're all fully on board. That's all it took was 48 hours. We're all fully on board. We're kind of figuring out the gravity of this thing in real time. And I think it's way more exciting that way. It's way more exciting. I'm freaking vibrating. Now that we're talking about all the potential possibilities of how this tournament can go, like you could do really, really well. You could do really, really well. Team North America at the World Cup 2016, they won their final game. They celebrated the way they did because they thought they had advanced. They lose. End up not qualifying. Canada, buddy. This is a very, very important game for more reasons than one.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great to watch.
I tell you what, if you can't beat them here, you're going to have a hell of a time beating them there.
You got to beat them here.
You got to beat them here.
Also, man, can you imagine Canada-United States final in Boston?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Oh, cool. Great. Can't wait for another winner-take-all game
In Boston.
for a team that I'm cheering for in TD Garden. Fuck! No! Not again! Horrible.
Man.
Horrible, but at least this time we got Marchand.
Exactly.
No!
Can you imagine Marchand stepping on the ice in Boston, Canada-United
booed.
States final? That'll be wild. And he'll love that. He'll love that. By the way, I think he's had...
Oh, this is hard.
Yeah.
No wonder
the-
we keep beating everyone.
Off the ice at this tournament, I think he's had the best tournament of any of the players or teams. He is social media star. Did you see the Tom Stewart, Austin Alexander thing where I just want to shout those guys out. I thought that was hysterical. That was so funny, and he played along with that great. More of that in the NHL, please. Please, more of that.
Marchand's a dad, right? I'm pretty sure he's a
I
dad.
don't know. I don't know his real stats.
There was a laugh he had when he was mic'd up in the locker room afterwards where he goes, ho, ho. I was like, man, that laugh creeps up on you. The 35-plus chortle.
Yeah.
Well, that laugh
Chortle.
creeps up on you, but
Yeah.
it's a real thing.
You know what else creeps up? I'd like to hear him sneeze.
Oh, how loud is it?
You hit about 35, and it goes from going achoo to. I sneezed this morning. I was filling in for the producer on my mom's show, and my chest hurt, like my ribs hurt, like I put my back out because I sneezed so hard. And it's never one sneeze either. I always sneeze twice. I don't know why, but it's
Oh, you're one of those.
yeah, and it yeah, like I scare my daughter and my wife with it because it comes out of nowhere.
Sneezed while driving on the way here today.
Did you?
It's terrifying. It's like
Well, when you're
a
on the road, yeah.
Dude, it's a bottom 5 human experience. It's sneezing while driving. It's terrifying. I hated it.
Do you know what? The reason I sneeze at home so much is because my wife has a cat and I'm allergic to them. So I'm getting those shots to be unallergic to them.
Idiot.
And
That's how in love you are.
they
What
came as a
stupid thing to
package
do.
deal. The cat's not like apparently he's hypoallergenic. I don't know. I'm still allergic to him.
I'm convinced that's a myth.
And Jesse and Steve, when we used to do this show in my basement in my house, Jesse would come over and just go with his fur, right? Like Teddy loved Jesse.
Teddy's a good cat.
He is a good cat.
Yeah.
But I remember afterwards, I could see like the dander floating through the air, and I was
Oh.
like, I'm going to walk through that, and I'm going to be in trouble. Because that's what you're allergic to, right? When you're allergic to cats. Just so you know, this weekend, on Sunday, I'm going to stream Saturday. I'm going to stream Monday. My wife wants to go to a cat expo. She's not really
you
a crazy
joking
cat
me?
lady, but she's like, you will get to experience kittens for the first time because I've never seen a kitten in person.
So wait, you're going to go to this and then stream?
No. That's Sunday. So
Oh.
Saturday and Monday are one of my stream days. But yeah, I'm gonna have to load up on allergy meds.
On Monday, you're going to look like you got stung by a bunch of bees.
That's the thing with cat allergies. It's not like a bee sting or anything like that.
Where's this cat expo?
Cat Expo?
Yeah,
Toronto.
where is the stinkiest expo in the friggin' world?
Can you imagine that?
You going to go to a ricotta cheese
cat
expo
piece
next?
smell?
Like what the?
Hold on. Yeah,
What is that?
Ricotta cheese. Expo.
Got any propane
Hang
expos
on.
you can go to?
I'm gonna find it.
Garlic expo.
She sent it to me the other day, and I'm just gonna find it. But yeah, it's apparently downtown this weekend. I'm like, and I didn't have the heart to say no to her. World's largest cat festival coming to Toronto. And no, it's not this weekend. It's in a couple weekends. I thought it was this weekend. I said yes to it this weekend. It will be March 1st and 2nd at the Queen Elizabeth Building. Tickets are $30 per adult. And I'm allergic to these things.
Adam,
Love does crazy things.
I think you should wear a mask.
You think so?
Yeah.
Just get in there like COVID
How much does it
mask?
cost for your cat to come?
I'm not bringing Do you know how painful it is to transport a cat? Like my
You
brother,
don't want the cat to see the cat festival? Isn't that the point?
cats fucking hate cats. Cats hate other cats. They hate travel. They hate.
This
they hate
expo
other
sounds like
cats.
a
But then the
genuinely
cat
bad idea.
expo should cater to that. Like if the cat expo should know the feelings of cats and create an environment that's beautiful for cats.
Oh, I think they're gonna try.
Yeah, so you should bring Teddy.
You think I
Teddy
should bring Teddy?
Teddy should have the opportunity to see the cat expo.
So
Just a bunch of people with a shitload of wounds on their arm.
yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Well, okay. So just to give you an idea of how much cats hate travel, my wife, before she met me, she got Teddy when he was a kitten, and he was 3 or 4 years old, and my sister-in-law Lauren was like, well, you can't leave him home alone on Christmas. She was just going over for Christmas dinner and then coming back. So Natalie brought her over, and she pulled him out of the carrier case that you put cats in, and he was so freaked out that he ran and hid. And where do you think he hid?
Somewhere you couldn't find it.
In like the chimney.
The fireplace, Jeff.
What?
And the fire was not on, but he is a white cat, big and fluffy. And then he ran out of the fireplace when they tried to get him out, and he had soot all over his paws and then tracked it all through the house. This is you have to say, like, for me being a traditional dog person, adjusting to this has been significant.
No, all of dog's destruction is accidental.
Yeah,
Cats will fuck you up.
it's on purpose.
It's
yeah.
100%.
You seen a cat ever like just the coffee mug and they just go
Meh.
yeah? Why? Why do they fucking do that?
So you're not going to the cat expo?
Not this weekend. I thought I was going on this weekend. So we want to talk to you about the ALS Action Canada auction. This is really cool. So ALS Action Canada are auctioning off experiences and memorabilia. Steve is going to try not to buy all the memorabilia. We have to allow for other people to buy
I
it.
didn't agree to try.
They are obviously working. They're working with Real Sports on this. That's the Leafs Real Sports on this. And all the proceeds are going to the ALS Super Fund. It is called ALS Super Action. Some of the examples, okay? You get a Toronto Maple Leafs Alumni Association Ultimate Fan Experience, an Ultimate Toronto Maple Leafs Fan Experience, Daryl Sittler Ultimate Fan Experience, the Ultimate NHL Alumni Fan Experience, Edmonton Oilers Ultimate Fan Experience, and so very much more. The auction closes February 20th. We want to thank you for your support, your ongoing support, for research in how we can end ALS, which is a pretty vicious disease. Yes, Jeff?
Steve's gonna spend way too much time on this auction site.
There's a lot there.
There's 27 pages worth of items, and some of them are really good.
Let me see.
Like Josh Allen signed jersey, Guerrero signed bat. Leafs player used JZR helmet bag for the Leafs.
Wow.
The player used skate bag. Like there's so much niche items, Steve. You better make some room in your home for all the stuff you're about to buy.
I could use this.
You can get a Connor McDavid signed Edmonton Oilers jersey.
Steve would never.
Yeah,
No.
Steve would never. He couldn't.
I would never.
Simply couldn't.
Canada, sure.
Now, we are going to obviously have the link in the description of this video. But the ALS Super Fund, we call it ALS Super Action, this particular draw. We want you to check it out. Together, we can end ALS. Now, one thing I wanted to ask, I was going to lead the show with this, but Maddie's like, don't lead the show with this.
The anthem stuff. All right, so.
Not the anthem stuff.
What?
Today's Valentine's Day.
Valentine's.
Valentine's Day. Jesse and Steve.
Yes.
Can you, just a complete departure from hockey, talk to me about your Valentine's Day traditions? Talk to me about your memories of Valentine's Day. Do you guys do anything for, you're both in long-term relationships. Steve has 2 children. Did you even know it was Valentine's Day when you woke up today?
Yeah.
You did?
I did.
Did you say Happy Valentine's Day before you left?
I did.
Okay. What do you guys have plans?
Well, on the way home, I'm going to get her something. I don't know what. See, I'm fucked. I get fucked every year because her birthday is February 5th.
Oh.
I already got her flowers.
They're close. Yeah.
Bullshit. Now what do I get her?
We can't get more flowers.
Now we're older, so she's like, don't get me chocolate. And I'm like, well, fuck. So now I got to think. And as a man, I think that's garbage. I'll have to think of something.
Jesse, what do you have planned? What do you think you're going to do?
We're
I got
gonna
a couple
go
hours
to
to think.
dinner.
It's fine.
Sorry, you're what?
We're going to go to dinner to some place called the Really, Really Good Diner or Restaurant or something like that. Yeah, she gets to pick the place, and then I'll pay.
Sugo?
It'll be
Oh.
nice. Yeah, it'll be good.
The Really, Really Good Diner.
Yeah, it's in like Leslieville or something. Apparently, it's really nice and fancy. I think it's one of those places that has like you don't have a menu. I think it's kind of you get like a course or something. I don't know.
Oh,
I don't know. I'm just showing up and paying.
I've been to one of those. Well, we did that Valentine's Day one year.
now here's my question. Valentine's Day questions for you guys. Are you cards or no cards?
I think cards are important.
Do you put an inscription in your card, Jesse? Like, do you
Do
take
I
the
write
time
in the
do,
card?
Do you have a
Yes.
little love note,
Yes.
or do you let the Shoppers Drug Mart take care of that?
No, you have to write in the card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Probably
Steve?
right. You should write in a card.
Here's what
From Steve.
Jessie doesn't know yet. No, she does not give a flying shit about cards from me anymore. It is all about Leo signing the card.
Oh.
So at some point, I'm going to be like, psst, get down here. And we're going to disappear to the basement, and he's going to fill out a card.
I remember there was one year where all Mrs. Dangle wanted for her birthday was a card from Steve. And Steve failed to even do that birthday.
Jesse, how do you remember that? I forgot.
Wasn't that long ago. I think it was like 2 birthdays ago. Do you remember that? Steve must remember.
You know what? What I think I might get her this year is a bunch of dog poop bags. Because she's so full of shit because she pretends like Valentine's Day means nothing to her until it friggin' arrives.
Was it
with her birthday.
Was it Valentine's or her birthday that you forgot to get her the card? When you had only
No,
asked
you know
for the
what?
card?
Knowing her, it was probably her birthday. She doesn't give a shit about Valentine's Day.
Right.
No, one day, and this is when we were like still dating.
Yeah.
I was like, oh man, like what do you want to do? Like I'm still like I'm trying to impress her, right? Because who knows, she could leave me at any moment. I'm a freaking YouTuber. And she's like, let's get Indian with my mom. And I'm like, yes, okay, let's do that.
Easy enough.
I thought it was a trap, but no, she just sort of wanted Indian food that night, so we got it. But yeah, her birthday being so close to Valentine's Day, it sucks. Friggin' sucks.
Okay. I just wanted to get a sense of the Blake and the Dangle households and see how.
That was it? You didn't have anything?
No, I can
like-
ask more.
Dinner used to be...
No, I thought you had like something to like related to that.
No, I just want to hear stories. Sometimes I think it's good to it's outside of what. But don't you, as a listener, kind of want to know a little bit about their Valentine's Day traditions?
Dinner used to be so easy. Like, oh yeah, let's go to dinner. It's Valentine's Day. Can't do that anymore.
Right.
Oh no, just pawn the kids off on her parent. Oh no, they want to go out for Valentine's Day, right?
Which is sweet, by the way. They've been married a long time.
Of course it is. It's very sweet and they deserve to. We can't. We just cannot.
What are you doing for Valentine's Day, Adam?
Well, I've got to pick up Everly after school. We got a little Valentine's Day card for her with some stickers, which I know she is prime sticker era right now.
Adorable.
So I know that most of them will end up on my shirt. Hopefully none of them on the wall. She knows not to do that. And then I've got Natalie and I have decided that we're just doing cards this year. So no big presents. I'm gonna
Are you
sneak some
being
flowers.
tricked?
I'm sneaking some flowers in though.
Are you?
I'm sneaking some flowers in. Yeah. And but here's the question.
Yeah, I think that kind of sucks
why does that suck?
because you're setting her up for failure.
Nah, she's not gonna look at it like that.
Yeah, you're right.
She's gonna be like,
right.
yep, you know
You're
what?
absolutely right.
I kind of do deserve it, and she kind of does. I
Except for the cat thing.
want to ask you though, because here's the thing: you get flowers, they die in a week, right? They're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Should I get her a flower that is in like you know those like they've got like I think they're called orchids where the big stem. Do I get one that lasts, or is that too much?
A plant.
Like a
go to-
plant.
Go to a florist.
Right.
Like,
but
don't-
is that now that's your flower now. Now you got to water that and take care of it.
Plant.
Yeah. Your plant. Now it's a plant.
Well, get her something she wants.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering what do you think is the better idea here? Do we want the thing that lasts that comes with some responsibility?
Ooh, like a succulent? A nice
Well, no,
succulent?
I'm not going to get her a succulent.
Why aren't you going to get her a succulent?
Because
They're low maintenance, Adam.
it's a cactus, Steve.
You don't like a good succulent?
No, why is that funny?
It's funny because listen, I like succulents too, but like they're not romantic plants. They're not like.
Well, what
they're
is
like
a romantic? Romantic plants are the ones that die.
carnations, roses,
Dead. Keep going. Keep going so I can say dead again.
Hydrangeas.
Dead.
Do you not think, or Jesse, would you give a hydrangea as a Valentine's Day?
A hydrangea?
Not a hydrangea, succulent. Hydrangea for sure.
Yeah, it depends on if you want to give them a plant to take care of. Like if you go to the plant, like the succulent's fine plant if you're going to plants. But you probably just do flowers. Sounds like I think you live a very simple life and you want just a plant that'll die in a week. You don't have to think about it anymore.
That's true. I don't need any more responsibility.
Yeah, I think you just want to put it in the water, let it die in 2 days, and then by the time Cat Festival rolls around, it's dead.
I have to water a cat every day. I don't want to water a plant too.
Here's where our Valentines are at. I got this text from my wife 6 minutes ago.
Okay, go.
I didn't know I was going to read this. She said, I went to the store to grab Isla and Leo some Valentine's treats, and someone beside us dropped the stinkiest fart I legit thought Isla shat. LOL. That's where we're at.
Okay.
Oh, what do you do that's so romantic? Have children.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We're going to have to get you guys out for a romantic dinner.
I would like that.
You're going to need to.
And we'll have to do it on nope. I was about to say the 15th as a joke. Streaming.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Anyway, no, I just wanted to ask. And listen, as far as NHL headlines go, it's been very, very quiet. And I have to tell you, that's the reason I brought up the Valentine's Day thing, is that's kind of nice. It's kind of nice to just pull your head out of it for a few days. I'm going to be ready for it to come back. I'm going to be so pumped to talk about trades. But it's nice to just be like, I don't need to talk about trades. I want to talk about who Canada is dressing at what position. I'm ready.
No?
Do you miss it?
Because some nerd, it was always going to be some nerd,
Okay.
was going to ruin it by making a trade.
Oh,
Kyle?
you're right.
Dude, you friggin' nerd.
And it's funny because who did he make the trade with?
Doug Armstrong.
Who he's at the tournament with.
And
They're right there. And okay, announce the trade. And I was like, okay, that's a who he play for selection.
it is a Dubas ass trade. He loves a tiny trade. Loves it. Can't get enough
sandwich.
of it.
He only eats the crust, guys.
Pittsburgh receives, when I saw Pittsburgh gets Laferriere, I'm like, damn, there's another one? Pittsburgh receives Matthias Laferriere, and St. Louis receives Corey Andonovsky. Oh, they broke into the news for that one to let us all know. Dubas, Doug, both of you, nerds. How dare you? How dare you ruin it?
Do you think?
No.
What are the chances either of those players have played in the NHL?
I feel like Andonovsky has, for some reason. I don't know.
Okay, let me see. Michael Andonovsky or Matthew Andonovsky. No.
I'm mad at you for Googling this. I don't care.
He's the fifth round, 140th overall selection. Matthew Andonovsky. And who else is it? Matthias Laferriere.
I can't slam the damn that's crazy button hard enough.
I know. I'm still doing it.
There's no way
Nope.
two Laferriers
Also has not played in the NHL.
That is such a Dubas trade. He loves...
What did he really need Matthias Laferriere for?
No one loves dicking with their minor league team more than that guy. He loves it. He loves it.
Yeah, and to be honest, Laferriere has 10 points in 32 games on the Springfield Thunderbirds so far this year. So he's a right wing, 24-year-old.
That's a made up team.
Like, what are we doing?
You made that team up.
Okay, so Jesse, why don't we go to the why don't we do the press conference?
Let's do it.
So something that's near and dear to my heart is Carly's Angels. It's a gala for the Carly's Angels Foundation honoring Carly Allison, who died 10 years ago tragically. This is a young woman who was in midway through high school, diagnosed with a very rare form of cancer. And it was actually on the news. Like, she was a singer, she was a skater, she was a huge Leaf fan, and her family really kind of came together around her, and they've created this foundation in her honor. The idea that she could even get to prom was like a huge step, and she's had a movie made about her. But March 1st, 2025, it's going to be the 10th anniversary to honor Carly Allison. It's founded by her parents, Mark and May Allison, her sisters Riley and Samantha, and her boyfriend John Servinas. And basically, it helps fund hospital programs with sick kids and Princess Margaret Cancer Center that aim to break down barriers and provide the kind of human-first cancer care that all people should have. So it's crazy. She was actually a listener of the radio station I was on at the time, Kiss 92.5. So she came in. Somebody posted on our Facebook page at the time, hey, Carly Allison is a big fan. We're in the car on the way to a school dance right now. Can you guys play, I think it was like One Direction or something. And we shouted them out. And then they got in touch and she came in and actually hung out for one of the shows and hosted an hour with us, which was great. So I hope that you'll help join us. Carly Allison, we're going to celebrate some milestones and that sort of thing at carlysangels.ca/legacy gala. We'll put the link in the description, but I'm actually hosting it. Awesome. And it's really, really cool. So, this is a inspirational person, an inspirational family, and a great charity that I wanted to kind of bring to the show because I know our listeners really care about that sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And Carly, if you guys remember, she sang the national anthem at the Leafs game, so it was pretty cool. It's pretty neat. So check it out. Again, it's carlysangels.ca/legacy-gala.
The Presser. SDP. The Steve Dangle Press Conference.
One thing we've become quite obsessed with talking about is
the anthems. Let's go. All show. Let's go. Re-record. Delete what we've done.
other
Anthems.
other language besides English name pronunciations.
Oh, I love this.
So NHL at NHL Europe on TikTok got the Swedish players to pronounce their names in Swedish. So here is how you say each player's name according to themselves.
Linus Ullmark, Viktor Erik Sven Gunnar Karlsson.
That was Erik Karlsson.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I'll just bring it back. Just so everybody listening and you don't have the names up on the screen.
Rasmus Dahlin, Elias Pettersson, Lukas Raymond.
So
Willie's
if
just
you're
not gonna
listening,
answer.
Willie walks by, says nothing.
He just smiles real big. If he wasn't so cool, he'd be weird.
Yeah.
Well,
But he's cool.
he's cool.
Yeah.
Leo Karlsson. Joel Eriksson Ek.
Oh, I like Joel
Eriksson
Eriksson Ek.
Elias Lindholm.
That was Elias
So
Lindholm.
you know what I love the way Swedes pronounce things, and it's so funny when they learn English because we don't do this. They dance through their language. Lindholm.
Well,
it's
is-
like a boop, 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 boop. You know what
So
I mean?
I'm not smart enough to know the answer to this. Are they hamming it up?
No, I think that's how you.
I think they're just speaking.
I think they're speaking.
Is this the equivalent of them being like Roberto Benigni?
I think they're
Like,
sweetening
is
it
this-
up.
I think people would be offended if they did that. Could you imagine?
No, like, well,
By the way, I just
they
wanna
can
shout
do
out-
it.
if you talk to the Italian team and they did that.
Oh, wait, what's
like,
I want to shout out the person that yelled "Mamma Mia" at Steve on that Boston Pizza.
Why did they say that
I don't
again?
know. You were
forget.
animated about something, and somebody was like, "Mamma Mia."
Mamma mia.
all right.
You're lucky I'm cool about that shit.
I know that makes life
Hey,
fun.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think if you ask the Italian team, hey, pronounce your name, that
Yeah.
they would start just doing a bunch of soprano stuff. Like, all right, here we go.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Finn Forsberg.
That's Philip Forsberg. He goes really quick. I'll play it again.
Finn Forsberg. Rickard Rakell. Gustav.
Oh, Ricard Raquel.
See how Forsberg doesn't really pronounce the G?
Forsberg.
Like he doesn't like
Forsberg.
hit it.
Yeah. That's so true.
Rickard Rakell. Gustav Wik. Viktor.
Rasmus Andersson.
Shout out to Victor Arvidsson who just goes Victor.
That is
Failed the assignment.
Yeah.
That is incredible.
I thought that was a lot of fun.
That's a great one. I'm going to follow NHL Europe on TikTok. I didn't know they existed.
Did you learn
make
anything
good
about
stuff.
those names?
Yule. Also,
Eriksson Ek, yeah.
what I couldn't help but laugh at was we say Elias Lindholm
It's Elias
and Elias Pettersson.
or Elias.
Though we do say Elias Pettersson and Elias Lindholm. It's just one of them hasn't corrected us yet.
Yeah, we should probably switch that.
Yeah. Well, one of them just did.
Hey, you know what? No.
Okay.
I'm anglicizing it. Thank you.
Adam's opinion
That's too much
always.
work. Not interested.
Adam's opinion on these names thing is always like, no, I will
wrong.
say
I
how I
have a
want.
hard enough time with English. All right.
Is it because you think you're going to fail?
It's because I know I'm going to fail. Why fail? Why not just pronounce it? You know what? You're in my country. Why don't
my
you?
God.
Why don't you?
Oh my God.
Canadian. Why don't
Here.
you speak some Canadian? You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
All right.
Hey, you know.
All right.
Come here with
Come
their
to this
milk and
country.
honey.
You're fired.
They don't
They're
wear their
making money
puppies.
and
Fucking. Okay,
Jesus.
Adam. First of all, happy belated birthday.
Hey, you're welcome.
Because his is also February 5th. Adam,
What?
I can't even remember where I was going to go with that.
I think it was perfectly fine.
Oh, coming out of the lockout, Alex Radulov. How did I say it when he was doing KHL shit? Radulov. And I kept doing it. And you know what people said? Okay, I'm going to give you two options. Good on you, Steve, is option one. Number two is, why are you saying it like that?
Yeah.
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 That's everyone just said, you're a nerd.
Yeah.
And I was like, but all I'm doing is saying the name right.
That's
and
good.
everyone just called me a nerd, so I stopped.
Shut up, nerd.
Shut up, nerd. And I'm like, okay, I guess I'll stop saying it the way he wants it.
Pronouncing things correctly. Who does that? Nerd.
Nerd.
All right. Next up, more answers to things we talked about previously. We were talking about how, hey, the Swedish guys get to all talk Swedish and the Finnish guys get to talk Finnish. That's really cool. Zabinajad was asked about it. And he had this quote. He said, I feel like a kid again, honestly. Speaking Swedish to my teammates, having meetings in Swedish, it just kind of brings you back. I've been away for, 14 years now from Swedish hockey. I feel like it doesn't take a very long time to get used to the guys, to the coaches, to just the way of thinking, I guess. It's been a lot of fun and it's exciting. Obviously, we want to win, and that's the mentality we're going in with tomorrow. Nothing changes there, but I think there's a different excitement for a tournament like this. That's from Molly Walker. So yeah, Zabinajad's like, hey, it's taking me back to my teenage years because that's
You know
the last time I
what?
played international.
I bet he wishes he wasn't there and wishes he dropped out.
Shut up.
I bet he wishes that this tournament wasn't. I bet he wishes he was in Cancun.
I would rather talk about the anthems.
Okay, keep going. Sorry. Just come on.
So I think that's really cool that all the guys get to speak their native tongue, and they haven't had that in a while. Also, we had a note from a listener about how a lot of Finnish people know Swedish and Swedish people know Finnish, so they can't really hide their language from the non-Canadian American teams, which is hilarious.
Which I think gives the Finns a bit of an advantage now, because not only is this sort of a grudge match, but if Sweden can't hide, they can't hide their language. Now,
I don't know if Finland has an advantage
see, I feel like Finland.
in anything.
Do you think that
They're missing too many guys.
There are more Swedes than there are Finns, right? I think it's by double. I think there's 11 million in Sweden, and I think there's 5 or 6 million in Finland.
I believe you.
What are the? I know if you're Finnish, you very likely know some English, some Russian, and probably some Swedish. I know Swedes have been saying to us in the comments, well, we know Finnish too. Do you think that they really do? Like, is Finland the smaller cousin or like little brother to Sweden in the way that Canada sometimes is the United States? Not in the political way, no, not 51st state, but you know what I'm saying? Is there a little bit of like, it's like Finns have, we got to learn this.
I don't know.
I'm curious about that.
I don't know if our useless North American brains can wrap our heads around the way European brains work.
Because they all know like 4 languages.
Well, my Nona used to watch Spanish shows. She did not speak Spanish, but Italian was close enough that like she picked up on it and she understood enough of it.
Yeah.
It's not how we're built. We're not great linguists, a lot of us. There's children of immigrants.
Yeah.
They learn it. My mom speaks Italian. Like, she learned it. She's a child of an immigrant. My dad knows English. That's it.
Yeah.
Did not particularly excel at French. That's it.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Okay.
I'm learning French on Duolingo, though.
Jesse, what's our next question? My
Où est
friend?
la piscine?
We had this one from This Is Loaded on Discord, who said, "Why were you guys joking and laughing about Reaves' number being retired and hanging in the rafters when he is already there?"
That's a great picture.
So there's a picture of Ryan Reaves next to Bill Barilko and Tim Horton that has been photoshopped in. That is a really good Photoshop.
Yeah, that's hanging in Scotiabank Arena, apparently. Ryan Reaves, 75, retired.
I think what makes it better is for no good reason. You didn't put the numbers in order. You just sandwiched him between Barilko and Horton.
And Horton and Barilko are 7 and 5. Those are theirs. And he's 75.
And you could have picked any picture, but you picked him with a gaming headset, which is that's fantastic work.
You know Ryan Reaves, when he's done, is going to be the best analyst on television.
I hope so.
If he wants to be. Like, that guy is... Him and, like, Biz and BX and, like, former players that really... stand out. I think he's going to be one of them.
It looks like he's doing one of the TNT hits.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I think that's where that picture
Which, by the
comes
way,
from.
do you ever see those TNT hits and go, how come TNT gets that in Canada though? They're like, nah, let's not.
I think that's a broadcast decision by the Sportsnet crew to not do that.
'Cause they
I
should.
feel like if they asked and they were willing and pushy, they could get it done. But I don't know why they don't.
You know what? Sometimes they do it pregame on Hockey Night in Canada, but the vibe just isn't the same.
No.
So yeah.
No, it's
anyway,
not.
I wonder
TNT
who
does a great
gets them.
job with that.
they do.
I wonder who gets him.
Go ahead, Jess. Sorry.
Who gets what?
Reaves.
In terms of...
where would he go? Well,
Oh, broadcast?
yeah, because I don't know where he lives. Usually, guys end up landing somewhere where they played. He's from Winnipeg, but played a lot of his career in St. Louis. Played a lot of it in Vegas. That'd be a lot of fun.
I could see him doing color on a broadcast.
Oh yeah,
Instead
absolutely.
of I know we always throw these guys on a panel and everything, but I think Reaves would be really good as a color guy on even radio or TV. I think he'd be really good.
Yep. Yeah, I think so. And he, especially in playoff situations too, when things get really tense. And who was the thing? Who said Luke Shen when he was back in Toronto in 23 was standing on the bench in between Toronto and Boston and sort of guarding things, and somebody pointed that out, and I'm like, only a former player would know that. And but there was a thing, where Shen sort of stood in the way of whoever on Boston was trying to get at Leafs. He just kind of stood there.
Or was it Tampa?
Oh, maybe it was Tampa. Maybe it was Tampa.
Because I just love when he called Jeannot irrelevant and Brendan Hagel lost his mind. Fucking irrelevant! You're gonna fucking irrelevant! He just completely lost his mind. I have to cheer for Brendan Hagel. We're not talking about that enough.
No, you're right. You're right.
I don't like him. I do this week.
We
I like
had
him a lot this week.
We had an interesting question here about Montreal and UFAs and this Four Nations tournament. This is from Ice Cole on Discord. Hi, guys. After the crazy first match of Team Canada, do you think that this will give an advantage to Montreal over other Canadian markets on the trade deadline and this upcoming UFA market? Now that some of them have experienced being on the good side of the center bell, obviously I'm thinking of maybe Mitch to the Habs. They have the cap, and he would be the star of this team, where on the Leafs, he'll always be second to Matthews. So, yeah, what do you guys think about the players playing in Montreal and experiencing that?
You have the right idea, but the wrong question. Because only half of this tournament is played in Montreal. So how will this tournament end in more stars playing in Boston?
Maybe both.
Maybe both.
Because that is where the back half of this tournament is. I don't think it'll... who doesn't know Montreal's awesome?
That's my question. Is I know the tax situation is a deterrent for certain players, although there are ways around it. Because Quebec taxes are even higher than here. But winter for other players or whatever. But if you needed this tournament to get excited about playing in Montreal, I feel like you don't know anything about the history of this game. That is the greatest franchise in the history of the sport. I don't know how you can't get excited about winning. You're the next guy. This is the longest cup drought the Montreal Canadiens have ever had.
Ever.
The next
Crazy.
team that wins this is going to be It doesn't matter if you're Anglo. It doesn't matter if you're Russian or Sweden or Finnish or American, whatever. You're going to be a god in Montreal for the rest of your life. You're going to sign. You're going to go to 50 million autographs sessions. You're going to be able to make it like 300 grand just signing autographs every year in Montreal for the rest of your life. If you go and you win in Montreal, even if you don't win, if you just get somewhat far, like look at Saku Koivu, never won.
You're going to be one of the 76 dudes to carry the torch every home opener.
Yeah. I just think, I don't know, man. As a Leaf fan who is not a particularly athletic person,
That's not true at all.
I would say that it wouldn't take much if you're a player to get pumped about playing in front of that crowd 41 nights a year plus playoffs.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. If you don't know that already, I mean, I have such respect, such grudging. God damn it, Ron Burgundy, I hate you, but I respect you. That's how I feel about Montreal.
Speaking of damn it, Ron Burgundy, I had a real hard time getting Freebird out of my head as I went to bed last night.
Really?
Well, I heard it they should have just left the solo playing, like for the first 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
They scored 3 goals in 2.5 minutes. The solo might be 2.5 minutes long. Like, just leave it. Just leave it running through
I like
play.
that. I like that.
It's crazy.
We can end on this. Do you guys have thoughts on the Toronto versus Toronto beef that's brewing between the Toronto Raptors, their head coach, and Tristan Thompson?
No.
Tristan Thompson's from Brampton, first off. So you said have fun and stay warm in my city.
Sure. Do you want me to play what Darko said about Tristan
Hell
Thompson?
yeah, I do.
Okay.
I got fired up about this.
All right. So the Raptors were down by 23 points with 4 seconds left in the game. Tristan Thompson, who plays for the Cleveland Cavaliers and as Adam said, is from Brampton, went up for a two-handed dunk with 4 seconds left to put the Cavs up by 23. My apologies. And that's how the game ended. It's disrespectful in that way to do that in the same way it's disrespectful of Ridley Grigg to slap shot a puck into an empty net. It's kind of the basketball equivalent. You don't do that. So the head coach of the Toronto Raptors said this in his post-game scrum about Tristan Thompson dunking the ball with 4 seconds left.
Okay. I think what Tristan did there was no class and disrespectful. I'm not going to stand for that for sure. And I'm really glad that our guys, our players from Jamal that goes on the court and Scotty and everybody else, that they stood up for themselves. I love when my team stands up for themselves. That was no class act.
So their head coach did the right thing here. Galvanize your guys, right? Because this is a shit year. You're going to be a lottery team. There's not a whole lot to hang your pride on. So defending your home court I think the key here is, and Tristan pointed this out.
Yeah, so can I finish?
Oh, yeah, sorry. Oh,
okay.
sorry.
So where we got the drama is that Tristan Thompson came back at Darko on Twitter replying to that video. He said, "You want a full court press with under a minute left in the game. When you get cracked by 30, this will happen to you. Lose for draft lottery and be happy, buddy boy. Hopefully you and most of your guys see the light at the end of Bobby and Masai's long-term plan. Bless up and stay warm in my city," winky emoji. So a couple disrespectful statements in there, calling the head coach buddy boy, saying the Raptors are losing for the draft lottery, which they are, and calling Toronto his city. Now, what are your thoughts on
Okay.
that?
Well,
So the reason they're full court pressing with that much time to go is because the head coach is trying to teach them to stay in the game no matter how bad it is.
Because they're a lottery team.
Right. Exactly. And Tristan,
didn't they just make a major change to their lineup too?
well, they just signed Brandon Ingram.
Yeah.
But he's not going to play.
He's not playing right now.
Yeah, he's been out with a high ankle sprain or something for months.
Yeah, hopefully they just keep him out forever and then they lose this
Yeah.
season. He comes back next season.
We don't need 22 points a night right now. We need a top 5 draft pick.
Oh, 22 points a night.
Yeah.
Anyways,
22 points. Well, 22 points. That would be more than Tristan Thompson has had in his last 5 games. His last 5 games, 0, 0, 0, 4. He was fired up.
He's at the end of his career.
Okay. He's averaging 1.7 points per game.
Yeah, there's a reason that Tristan Thompson was on the court with 4 seconds left in a 23-point blowout.
Yeah.
But Adam, you were making a point before Steven.
Sorry. No. My point is that specifically as it relates to Tristan Thompson. And remember, I am a sports fan. My wife is a Kardashians fan. So I get both sides of Tristan Thompson, and both suck. He's not great to Khloe. Khloe Kardashian is the good one. She's the nice one. We all love Khloe. How can you do Khloe like that, Tristan? And literally like in the worst way. And you know, man, I love that Darko did that. I love that Tristan came back at him. I love the drama. But at the end of the day, Tristan, Brampton is your city. Brampton loves to talk about how Brampton is separate from both Toronto and Mississauga. All right? Toronto is my city. That's the city I grew up in.
Ooh.
Okay? So unless Darko Rajakovic lives in Brampton, and I don't know about it, you stay warm in Cleveland, sir.
Yeah.
And leave us alone. All right? Leave us alone. And you wouldn't understand having energy for an entire game of basketball because that's never really been your thing.
Damn.
Also, you never played here. We don't claim you.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't your city. I thought that was really offside.
It's it's Carter's city than it's your city.
Nobody looks at Toronto and says it's Tristan Thompson's city.
No.
It's laughable.
You're also like burying the fact that someone unearthed him filling his diaper up to the waistband about another team doing the exact same thing to his team.
Yeah, years ago in like 2017. Yeah, he got mad when somebody did that to him.
Calm down.
No, I just want to call him
I'm
out.
glad you brought it up. Do you think, Jesse, what do you think? You're the biggest basketball fan of the three of us.
No, I think you nailed it. Like,
Okay.
I think it's loser behavior on Tristan Thompson's part to come here and do, and like,
Buddy boy.
It's one that, like, what are you doing? And I think he needs to realize where he is, and like being on the court at that moment means you're not very good and you're not very relevant. And yeah, of course the Raptors are going to play hard. Doesn't mean you have to two-hand dunk it into the net or anything, because you know that's going to be disrespectful. It wasn't like he was doing that because he was playing hard on his own. He was doing that in an act of disrespect.
Yes.
Because he was mad that he had to play a little harder with less than a minute left.
They interpreted the message as it was intended.
Right. So, like,
And then you got mad at them for getting mad.
That was your whole purpose, and then the crowd booed you in your city. Maybe you don't get booed in your city if it's your city. So I don't know. I thought it was giant loser behavior by Thompson. Dude
That's so
might
crazy.
be a loser.
If you want to see more giant loser behavior by Tristan Thompson, look up every season of The Kardashians since he was on it.
Yeah.
They don't pick well.
No.
Those ladies. They do not pick well.
No.
They do not pick well.
Hey.
Travis Barker's cool.
Yeah. Not their fault.
What?
Yeah. No, I
At a
tried.
certain point, we are the common denominator.
I tried.
All right, let's
I
fire
tried.
it up, Jesse. We're out of here. Now, remember this weekend, Saturday, we get a doubleheader. Streams at 1 and at 8. Sweden, Finland, Canada, United States. And then Monday, I'm doing the stream. And then what else?
1 and 8, same thing. And then the SDP comes back on Tuesday.
There you go. Happy Family Day, everybody. At least in Canada.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake. Connection complete.